Q&A on Sunday. Hopefully everyone had a really good holiday season if you celebrate that. And yeah, I've got some updates. I've got some things to say before we dive into the questions. The questions are pretty epic today. So we're gonna get into a lot. And then I also have a big announcement as well. So let's just start it off. Before I go anywhere though, I just want to like shout out so many people. Of course, all of the brand new members. Thank you. I see Monica's brand new member. But also all of the people who have been around for a while. I just want to say thank you for showing up every day and really supporting me and the channel and being a member and all of that great stuff. If you do want to chat in the live chat room, just sign up and be a member. That's actually the best way to support me, even above and beyond super chats. It's going to be the membership. First of all, shout out to Adam and Mitch. I thought it was really cute. Adam is an old client of mine, and he messaged me yesterday, and he said that his stepson, Mitch, just paid him for a full year of the EA membership on YouTube. And what's really cool about that is his whole family was Christian not too long ago. So now, instead of going to church every Sunday, they watch my video, which is really cool. So shout out to Adam and Mitch and your whole family. It's such a pleasure being in your life, and of course Sharma. Oh, just so many. I just have so much gratitude recently. Oh yeah, I also wanted to say too, Natasha and I got invited to this beautiful healing experience. It's called the Harmonic Egg. If you want, you should check it out. And if you're in the LA, California area, there's actually, it's this whole family who came together to buy these huge eggs that you sit in. It reminds me a lot of the Integratron in Joshua Tree. It's Syrian technology, Syrian energy, Syrian consciousness within it. It was really wild sitting in that thing and getting so many downloads. So it's called the Harmonic Egg. I even had the pleasure of meeting the inventor of the Harmonic Egg, which is incredible. And the one in Santa Clarita, which is about 30 minutes away from LA, is called the Healing Studio. And it's this beautiful family who own these two harmonic eggs. And Natasha and I were the first ones to sit in them. And then their daughters actually painted me this. How cute is this? It's an alien eating a bag of chips because, of course, I always reference eating a whole bag of chips, which is funny because I'm not even really a chip person, probably more chocolate, but for whatever reason the reference always comes up. So I just thought that was really cute. So shout out to you guys and Gail, the inventor of the Harmonic Egg. Thank you for bringing the technology to the planet. This is the time. This technology is like off the charts, and one of the things that it does is reverse aging. They will never claim that, but that's what the Syrians were telling me. Is it like restabilizes your cells. It's just really cool. So I definitely recommend check it out. We'll be back for sure. Okay, so tomorrow's video is going to be about 2021 predictions. Why not predict the new year before we even begin the new year? And I probably shouldn't have done this, but last night I was like, I wonder what Monday's video is going to be all about. And then, of course, 5 minutes later, all this information starts coming to me, so I wrote it all down in the notes in my phone, and Nat's like, babe, what are you doing? So yeah, so it's gonna be, I don't know, it's gonna be very interesting. Huge downloads, huge video coming to you tomorrow about 2021 and all of the predictions that I have. If you haven't already seen my 2020 prediction video that I put out in January, even before the pandemic, you should check it out. I believe it's called World War III. And here we are, guys, we're in it. Okay, also, within the membership, I'm gonna start something new. I'm gonna try it out for January. It's the perfect time to try it out. And it's going to be an accountability series. So every Thursday within the membership program on YouTube, I put out a brand new video. So for January, the month of January, I've got 4 brand new exclusive membership videos, and they're all gonna be about accountability. So it's time to reprogram your mind, it's time to reformat your programming and really change, our behavior. So for all of January, I'm dedicating to reprogram my life, and I'm dedicating the membership videos every Thursday to reprogramming and accountability. All right, so be aware of that. If you want to be a part of the accountability program and me holding you responsible for the last week's homework, then definitely sign up and be a member. This is the time to do it. Okay, and then, a couple of other things. And I know that only members can chat, but maybe after the video, if you're watching the recording, comment in the comment box below if you're not a member. A couple of things. First of all, did anyone else notice that conversations with family this past holiday season was very overwhelming? Very overwhelming. It's just like, I don't know about you guys, but I've been so sensitive to other people's vibration that anything that is not aligned is like nails on a chalkboard. So, even like the what I'm wearing, right? It affects my vibration. The crystals that I wear, the environment around me has been very overwhelming for me. The people that I talk to, if they're not in the highest vibration, it makes me feel nauseous. It was very difficult. I love my family, don't get me wrong, and it was amazing talking to so many people, and of course, Nat's family's divorced, my family's divorced, so it was nonstop calls all day. It was nice to be alone, but I just felt extremely overwhelmed, and it really hit home for me why I needed to be alone in December. And I still feel like I want to be alone in January. I still feel like I want a cocoon. And the word that keeps coming to me is integration. We're integrating these higher frequencies, and because we're moving into the higher frequencies, lower frequencies are really disruptive. They're really disruptive. That's what I've been feeling. Also, just in general, has anyone else here had really intense conversations with their loved ones? So maybe it's your best friend, maybe it's your brother, maybe it's your mom, maybe it's your neighbor. But right now, maybe it's your partner, right? We are purging out the old dynamics that no longer serve us, and they're all coming to the surface, which means that we all need to have super intense conversations with people to purge out those old dynamics. If you're not doing the cord cutting and the burning and the release letters and all of that on your own end, they will just naturally, organically come up with that other person. So I've been noticing that a lot, and all of my friends and even Nat has been noticing that. Weird, crazy release symptoms. And thank you so much, Angelo, for that really generous super chat. Really crazy release symptoms, all right? So maybe it's like a nasty cold sore, maybe it's a breakout, maybe it's a pain in your lower back, maybe it's like just freaking sweating randomly in the middle of the day, maybe your hair's falling out, maybe you have a rash and you're really itchy, maybe you want to fast for 3 days. Really crazy release symptoms. They're happening, they're still gonna happen moving into the new year, all right? So once again, you're not dying, you're just waking up, and sometimes it sucks, all right? Wild dreams, they're still happening, they're still gonna happen, they're still gonna move into the new year. I was chatting with all of my members before this video, and I love chatting with you guys. And actually, we have a membership group in Discord. So if you are a member and you're not added to Discord, add yourself to Discord. I think actually the link is in the description below, and we've got a full membership group just for you guys. So Be aware of that. But really crazy dreams. I was chatting with you guys, and one of you said, I asked for a restful sleep last night. I asked for no dreams, and I still got hit hard with dreams back to back. And I feel that every night. Like last night, it was like every time I turned over, I woke up. Like, what's going on? It's been wild. A lot of purging in the dreams. A lot of people, this is what I was channeling last night. Thank you so much, Courtney, for that really generous super chat. A lot of people, yeah, I was channeling this last night, and maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow, but I want to mention a lot of people are getting alien cosmic disclosure right now at this time. And like whether they're really awakened or they're just brand new, you know, I mean, I only hear about the small percentage of the people who reach out to me and the messages that I actually do see that people are saying, wow, I had this crazy dream of this blue alien last night, or I had a dream of you shapeshifting into this giant mantis being, or what have you. But this is happening. We're getting cosmic disclosure. It's like to the next level. So if that's what you want in the new year, set the intention because it's going to happen. Okay, also technology. Oh my goodness. Anyone else having the worst technology issues of their entire life in the past 3 days? It's been dreadful. It's been so awful. And I just want to like bring something to your awareness that I forget what it was, but something was going on yesterday. Oh yeah, I was filling out this form to register my book, by the way. Okay, it's getting released April 1st, but I was filling out this form to register my book, and every single time I clicked submit, it said, no, but type in your 5-digit zip code. And I said, but I typed in my 5-digit zip code. So I try and retype it, then I click submit, and then it's like, type in your last name, but my last name is typed in. Like every single time I tried to submit, it wouldn't let me. So by the third or fourth time of trying to force this program to just go through when there was no perceivable issues with it, I tapped in. I said, what's the lesson here? What am I learning? What's going on? And they said that I needed to format my description of my book. So that's what I did. I thought about it and I typed it out and I reformatted it, and then I clicked submit and it went through. No problem. No errors, no issues. Just realize that even though it seems like your computer is a piece of crap, it may not be. It may actually just be a lesson. As a matter of fact, I believe that every single thing in our reality is a lesson or something that we can learn from and grow from and move forward from. All right? So ask yourself why you're attracting the repeated cycles at this time. Anything that frustrates you, anything that triggers you, anything that you're attached to, any identities that you configure yourself with are all going to be tested and challenged at this time, and they will be tested and challenged until you finally choose to let them go. So let them go before you're tested over and over again, all right? Or take the time to pause in that moment and really figure out why it's repeating. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Also, psychic abilities have been, boom, next level. Obviously, like I can't really tell. Other than clarity, the word that's come to me recently is clarity. Anytime I'm like, even like a simple, like even like a more real, like 3D question of like, wow, why is there like a light being reflected over there in the house? And then the download comes to me of like, oh, well, it's being refracted off of the window and projected off of this shiny object and then reflected onto the wall over there. Like, it's just really wild. For me, I mean, like, I always have downloads, so I can't really tell that my own abilities are getting sharper, but the clarity and the amount of information coming through for me is next level. For Nat, though, I mean, Natasha has had these next level downloads of like, she's like, it's just so wild because, you know, I'm just taking a walk and all of a sudden this information just comes to me and it's just so much. And I'm like laughing. She's like, wow, like it's almost a little bit overwhelming. And, you know, I'm afraid that I'm kind of like losing my mind a little bit. I'm like, babe, That's my everyday all day. And she's like, whoa, so it's really cool that she's kind of starting to see just where I'm at. Anyway, so psychic abilities really peaking at this time, which once again also means you as an empath are extra sensitive, all right? Low vibe stuff has been like nails on a chalkboard, and it's because we're integrating. It's okay to remove yourself from the things that you don't resonate with because you're integrating. Just own it. Aw, Paula, that's a really generous super chat. Thank you so much. I'm glad I can, validate and help all of you, and really it's like, hey, you're not going crazy. I'm not going crazy. We're all in this together. It's good. It's good just for me as well, Last thing, one big announcement, and then we're going to deep dive into some really epic questions today. I just had to say so much information today, and just so many pieces of validation because it's been a lot. It's been intense. Okay, so literally like half an hour before this video, I called Lauren and I'm like, oh my goodness, do you think we can put this together? And she said yes. So I'm going to be traveling January 8th to I think January 18th. And we're just going to go visit family and go up to Joshua Tree. And I'm going to still do my regular videos. But the January 11th Galactic Federation meeting is going to be in the middle of our drive from Joshua Tree to Nevada. So I won't be able to have the Galactic Federation meeting on the 11th. So it literally, once again, clarity download came to me this morning, right before this video. I'm gonna have the Galactic Federation meeting on January 1st, which is this Friday, all right? So Lauren, if you can post the link to the summit, the Galactic Federation Summit. If you're watching this as the recording afterwards, I'll be posting it almost every single day to my Instagram stories. So check that out. It's still just $11. And specifically what came through for this one on Friday is it's a Galactic Federation agenda meeting. A Galactic Federation agenda meeting. And the reason why it came to me as an agenda meeting is all of your questions, all of the big ones are all about the New World Order, the elites, the reps, the vaccines, all of that stuff. I don't blame you because the agendas are being rolled out right now. So I'm going to specifically focus the Galactic Federation questions on Friday related to what is the agenda, okay? What is the agenda? And how is that going to be rolled out? And how do we navigate the New World Order agenda moving forward? And what else do we need to know about 2021? Why not have this epic video and this epic, meeting on the 1st of the new year? Okay, it just felt really appropriate. So just know that it's not happening on the 11th, it's happening on the 1st. And that's basically 1 week to get your ticket. And unfortunately, a lot of the tickets sold out with the Cosmic Gateway event, so I recommend getting your ticket first. And if your time zone is weird or you can't show up live, you can always get the recording after and it'll be available for $11 as well. Okay? Awesome. All right, let's deep dive. First question here from Samina Baraza. How do we know if we anchored into the new 5D timeline? I was one who participated in the mass meditations going on all over the world on December 21st. Is there a way you could channel the Galactic Federation and see if it was enough to anchor us in? Great question. Even on the Cosmic Gateway event, when I channeled the Galactic Federation, one thing that really stood out for me during that Q&A was the fact that the video where I ranted and I raved about us as light workers focusing on a fear-based timeline, that video actually changed enough of you to let go of your fear where we could switch over to a higher vibration. So what I want to say is, yes, I believe that we've anchored in that 5D frequency. I believe even before the 21st, we were able to anchor in that frequency. because that was always the plan, right? That we were going to move forward on that. But this isn't the end of anchoring in that frequency. It's not like, all right, mic drop, walk away, you're good to go. It's more like, okay, cool. We've started the ball rolling. Now let's follow it through. There's still going to be an unfolding that is happening moving forward. All right. So I believe we did great work, and I am so grateful and so proud of each and every one of you for doing that work on the 21st, for taking the time off, for really focusing on your intentions, for being with me on the Cosmic Gateway. If you guys have not checked out the Cosmic Gateway, check it out. I believe it's also only $11 for the recording. It's about a 4-hour event, really epic, ending off with a meditation. A lot of you fell asleep during the meditation, I think, just to integrate the energies. And it comes with a workbook. So it's all about releasing the old and setting intentions for the new. So it's great, not just for the 21st, but in general to prepare yourself for the new year. Okay, Claire Daly. This is a long one, but I think it's really appropriate. All right, Elizabeth. I am gearing up for war/full rebellion if this vaccination becomes mandatory. I know how hard life could become without it. Mainly my loss of freedom. Being a free spirit, it frightens the living daylight out of me. You seem to be willing to go along with their plan. I am a powerful personality that does not accept leadership from anyone. However, I look to you as a mentor and even a big sister. You seem willing to accept the mark of the beast, and I was a little concerned. Any government strong-arming me into an invasive procedure is untrustworthy, but I have a nagging feeling that I may be missing the point. I do trust you, Elizabeth, so please, please, please help me understand and make a video specifically on vaccines and why the elite may be targeting us light workers specifically. Please tell me and us, when we stand the fuck up and say no, at what point do we stop playing their game? So I love it. I just want to say thank you, Claire, for standing in your power and for getting upset. And you have every reason to be. Okay, so here are my points. I had to write these points down yesterday because there's a couple of things that I want to cover. First of all, hands down, absolutely, without a doubt, I am going to make a whole video on just vaccines moving forward. And I'm also going to be really asking the Galactic Federation again, because as we know, timelines can and do always change, and making full predictions for specific events is it's irrelevant because we're flip-flopping through timelines so quickly, right? So it's kind of difficult for them to say, this is going to happen, this isn't going to happen. What they can tell us is how to navigate, right? So I will do a whole video on vaccines, and I'm going to ask the GFL about that on Friday specifically, okay? But for now, I want to just relay to you the full picture of where I'm coming from with vaccines. And no, I definitely am not just laying down, surrendering, accepting the mark of the beast, all right? So here are my points, okay. Hold the highest vibration. Ultimately, from my perspective, and as always, guys, you can take it or leave it. It is never up to me to choose for you what is right or what is wrong. Never, ever, ever, okay? It's always up to you. You always have that free will. You always have that power. So for me, I come from a higher perspective. Doesn't mean that it's better. It's above the physical reality here. I believe that we are vibrational beings. I believe that anything that exists within a physical, particle, material existence is in some way or form an illusion. It doesn't actually exist because the only thing that really exists is vibration, okay? And I know to say, oh, well, this is all an illusion, so it doesn't matter. That's not really what I'm getting at either, okay? I just mean that energy always trumps physical. Everything physical is energy. We are physical beings that are ultimately energy beings, which means that our energy as pure source can override anything you could ever possibly dream of in the physical reality existence. Okay? So my higher perspective is, if we were to be forced, I don't know, say at gunpoint, all right, to get the vaccine or die, I don't know, okay? We can override whatever's in that vaccine with our vibration. Just like I believe we can override 5G technology with our vibration. Just like I believe we can override chemtrails with our vibration. Just like I believe we can override the programming within television with our vibration. We can do that as vibrational beings. I am living proof of that. I got all my vaccines as a kid and I'm still really psychic. I'm not a vegan and I'm still really psychic. I watch TV and I'm still really tapped in, right? So just know that our vibration can override things that you may perceive as not good for us. Do I believe that all of those things aren't good for us? Absolutely. Do I believe that all of those things, including the vaccine, are here to dumb us down and to keep us complacent and to lower our vibration? Absolutely, 100%. But the thing that I believe that will lower our vibration be above and beyond any vaccine is the fear of the vaccine. I am not standing down. And ultimately, and I said this from the beginning of this year, that we need to rally together. And if all of us say no together, then we can change it. They can't put mandatory restrictions on things if we've got 10%, 20%, I don't know how much of us are there, of the entire population of the world saying no to vaccines. Our strength is in our numbers, but a lot of us are not strong enough to say no. I'm not going to be lining up. I'm not going to, just completely surrender because I believe that our vibration overrides it. But if it comes down to it, I hold zero fear. No fear. I hold no fear around it whatsoever. I am so confident. I am so optimistic. And maybe that's my downfall. Maybe that's my blind side. That we're on the right timeline. We're on the right path. That the elites are being taken down. Actually, my download from last night is all coming to me. It's crazy, guys. I have to relay this to you tomorrow. It's so intense. Okay, so that's it. We have to use our voice. We have to use our numbers. We have to put our foot down. We have to say no. We have to. We have to. But we also can't hold any fear. You cannot say no out of fear. You say no out of empowerment. I'm not a pro-vaxxer or anti-vaxxer. I am a pro-choice. No matter what that choice is, we deserve to have the ability to choose what we want. And that's why I will never tell you what is best for you, because you ultimately always have the choice, no matter what it is. And I'm going to leave it at that, but thank you, Claire, for bringing this up. And I feel your rage. And I think that a lot of light workers are pissed off. And you know what? Years ago, I was pissed off. Years ago, I was taking a look and astral traveling and seeing these underground bases and seeing what the reptilians were doing and seeing the destruction and seeing the New World Order agendas. I was seeing it all and I was pissed. But I had to get away from that place that I was in, because it wasn't helping the collective and it wasn't helping my own vibration. I was feeding into that fear. I was feeding in to their agenda. Their agenda isn't the vaccine. Their agenda is the fear that it creates. The fear of not having it and the fear of having it. The second that we escape the fear paradigm is the second that we raise our vibration above it. Doesn't mean that it is or is not going to happen. It just means that it won't affect us in a negative way. And if you don't believe that you are powerful enough to override that, then you need to check your own perception of how powerful you are. Okay, sorry, that was really intense. Okay, moving on, clearing the energy. Candy Thornburg. Hi, EA. This is a really good question. Since the test to diagnose the virus is DNA based, meant to diagnose the disease, could the elite be doing a global-wide DNA bank? And if so, what are they really looking for? Is there a genetic marker for the 144,000? This is a great question. They're all really great questions. I just have to write down, yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. So let me channel it. Let's just see if I can get any information on the test. Okay, let's just take a look. I just want to see. Sometimes they won't give it to me, and maybe I can ask Bhakta in the GFL summit. But I just want to poke around. This is good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering about this. So I went to the Palladian Security Council. I even went to the Octurian Council because they deal with timelines. They didn't give me the information on this. They did not specifically say, yes, they're gaining access to information related to DNA. I asked them why they didn't give me the information, and they said that they don't want to create more fear than there needs to be. That should be your answer as it is. And I also want to mention one thing that kind of slipped through when I was poking around is, you know, the whole 23andMe? Well, years ago when that was released, I was taking a look at what this really was. And, you know, 23andMe, you know, the person who runs that is married to the guy who's the head of YouTube, who's also in cahoots with Google because they own each other. And there's some really interesting stuff, really interesting data mining going on there. And as we all know, it's the data that is the most powerful. And how ridiculous is it that we are paying companies to extract our genetic DNA and data, you know? And so I just want to say that the whole 23andMe that I was looking into years ago came up, and it felt like there wasn't enough people buying into that. So this is another option for them. Once again, it's the agendas, guys. Yeah, I always look at the highest vibration and the most positive timeline, but I'm not oblivious to what's going on as well on the other side of things, right? I think the reason why I'm so positive is because I do see it all and I do understand it all, but I'm still always holding that highest frequency, right? I'm not coming from a place of ignorance in that way of the dark and the light. I love deep diving into the agendas, and I'm very excited to see what the GFL has to say this Friday related to the agenda. Okay, so yeah, sorry that there's no more information, but it was a great question, and I'm glad that you asked it. Okay, Jenny Lee, 333, love it. Where do real people go when their clones are used? Are they killed? Are they put in hiding? Or do they just have two of them walking around? I don't understand the soul part of it. Thank you. So I don't know much about cloning. Like I said, it was probably back in almost like right at the beginning. When I first started channeling back in 2010, 2011, like when I really started getting into it, all I looked at was the elites. All I looked at was the agendas. All I looked at was the New World Order. All I looked at was, the corruption in the system. I was in, studying global politics at the time, and I just wanted to see all of the gaps and all of the things that they didn't tell us in school. So that's the time when I looked into cloning. From what I know, they typically kill the original body of the clone, and they transplant the soul from that original body into the clone body. And eventually the soul essence in the clone after the clone after the clone, it gets weaker and dimmer and weaker and dimmer. And then at a certain point in time where the body of the clone is kind of just very weak and dim because the soul isn't very active or isn't very alive, they actually transplant or imprint or input another soul of another being. So typically it's a reptilian soul, one of the negative ones, not one of the positive ones, and they put that into the body. And that's basically how that works. Yeah, I mean, like, I just want to say, like, Hillary's face keeps coming up here with the freaking clone. I don't know why. I guess I know why. It's just connected. But yeah, so there's underground bases and underground facilities. I've been there, and I've remote viewed it. Surprisingly, there wasn't a whole lot of, astral guards there. That was one that I could really take a look around. I've been kicked out of most of the bases that I've been to. Even the one on Mars, I was kicked out of pretty quickly. And the one in Antarctica, I was kicked out of pretty quickly. But the clone base, I wasn't. Maybe, well, that was like 10 years ago, so maybe they didn't really have the kind of security measures they have now. But good question. All right. Samantha Solmore. Hi, EA. If those that we loved have crossed over, what dimension are they existing in now? And in other words, what dimension is heaven? Great question. I've never really thought about this. I've crossed over many souls and spirits, and it's so profound. It's just so beautiful, and so needed for many spirits who are stuck. I believe that eventually, it just popped in, that when the planet gets to a certain vibrational frequency level, oh, I just got chills, all of the souls who have been stuck in purgatory, in their own misery, in their own trauma, are instantly going to be crossed over. Never thought about that before. This is what I'm talking about with clarity. Any question that I even start to ponder, the information is right there. Like, I hope that one day I can just channel with my eyes open. Most of the time when I'm looking off, though, is when I'm gaining access to information. And then when I'm looking at you is when I feel like I have put it all together, if that makes sense. But you've probably already noticed that. Now I'm like all self-conscious of looking off. Okay, let me ask. I want to ask, what dimension is heaven in? So I know that when souls are stuck before getting crossed over, they're in the 4th dimension frequency. And then when they cross over, they instantly remember all of their past lifetimes. They instantly remember all of the information. They review their lifetime, and then they choose at a very conscious level with their free will and their soul and their spirit guides and the guardian angel where they want to go next and what they need to learn next. So what dimension is that? Or is it a dimension? That would kind of be considered heaven, I guess. Let's take a look here. Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, cool, yeah. Okay, yeah. I channeled this years ago. I think I had the same question many years ago because I got the same images that I got. I just totally forgot. When a soul crosses over, they actually don't go to a dimension at all. They go right back to pure source energy, pure source frequency, which what I channeled many years ago is in the center of the universe. Pure source is the center of the universe. And that's not a dimension. That's just pure source. That's just everything and nothing simultaneously. So even if you went from pure source, right, unincarnated but just a soul, and then you wanted to go into, say, the 11th dimension frequency, and you wanted to be an etheric being, which means a being without a body, you still choose that particular incarnation. And even though it's not physical, you're still incarnated, right? So it kind of gets weird. But there is a difference between after your life and then existing in a life, even if it is all non-physical and etheric, if that makes sense. But good question, Samantha. Thank you for asking. Okay, David Carlton. What do you know about the prophecy of the event happening at, I'm going to butcher this name, Uluru, in Northern Territory, Australia, at 9:02 p.m. local time on 21/12/2020. So many of you are from Australia, and so many of you have asked me about Uluru. And none of you have actually explained what Uluru is, and I just haven't had the time to really look it up. But David explained it. So thank you, David. This is what he said, for those of you who don't know. The event has been known about for tens of thousands of years by the indigenous lore keepers and elders. The story goes that Palladians placed a box of crystals in the rock, largest monolith on Gaia, which is to be opened Monday, 21st December 2020. The crystals will provide knowledge and raise our consciousness. Wow, that's Uluru? That's what you guys have been asking about this whole time? Amazing. And also, doesn't it sound almost identical to the experience that I had with the crystal skull being given to the indigenous keepers, the knowledge keepers, when I was in Bryce Canyon with my dad? And then the indigenous souls crossed over, but they were still holding the ancient knowledge and keeping the knowledge of the crystal a secret. And then when I went to activate the portal and cross over the souls, the knowledge of the crystal skull got released and disseminated into the vortex of the planet, into the consciousness grid of the, like literally Uluru sounds identical to the experience that I had. I had no idea. Like when I read this, it blew my mind last night when I was reading this question. If you guys have not checked out The Journey, which is a 13 video series of all of the videos that I did with my dad channeling the vortexes and the portals of North America and the indigenous souls and the knowledge keepers, check it out. Literally, it's on my online school. It's $22. It'll blow your mind. It's just mind-blowing. It literally sounds like Uluru. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to channel specifically Australia and Uluru to see, did the crystals get, did the information get disseminated? Did the knowledge get released? I feel like so many light workers and grid keepers and crystalline beings all over the world have been gearing up to work on the grid system of the planet all of 2020 to get us prepared. And I literally have full chills right now for 5D frequency and crystalline and Christ consciousness frequency hitting the planet at this time. So let's take a look at Australia and see if the knowledge was released. So 1 second. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So I see this huge, like, I guess it's the rock that you're talking about in Australia. It's like a huge, almost looks like a mountain. Very similar to the ones that I was channeling in North America, but bigger. And I was talking with the Palladian, ancient Palladian beings who originally put the crystals in the mountain, in the rock. And it's not in a box. I think that there was a perception of the box. And the reason why there was a perception of the crystals being in the box is because it's the visualization of the box being opened, right? Once the knowledge is disseminated, sorry about that, guys. Once the knowledge is disseminated, the box is opened and the knowledge is released. But there is no box. The Palladians said that there's no box. There's just the crystals. And yes, they buried them. Obviously, they have technology to I don't know, injected the crystals or buried them right in the center. They said that they knew that at a certain point in time, there were going to be specific grid workers and specific souls that needed to all come together. And I see 5 of them. And it feels like a group of grid workers and light workers who came together to activate the vibration of the crystals in that rock to disseminate the knowledge and information. And there's been many light workers along the years who have wanted to unlock it, but there's certain ones that needed to come together for that time. And there was something also about the connection of ancient Atlantis and Lemuria, and the last time that maybe it was activated was back then, or maybe some of the information was being held from back then. Oh yeah, and then the souls that got together to unlock it or to help it activate, kind of similar to me activating these portals along the way, were also Palladian. They were part of the Palladian group, maybe the Atlantean group, that originally put the crystals in the rock to begin with. And it's been their mission to activate that again. So very interesting stuff. But thank you so much, David, for finally explaining it to me so I can channel it, right? I don't do this research. So if you have a question and you think that this is a concept that I may not know the name of it, but I can channel whatever it is, even if I don't know. I just need to know what it is. Anyway, very cool. Awesome. Okay, cool. CPO 717. Hi, EA. It's been said from various channeled sources that the incarnation cycles on Earth will be a thing of the past. Will it just work differently in the new Earth, or is this our last go-around? Yes, so yes, incarnation moving forward into 5D frequency, crystalline vibration Earth is going to look very different. The biggest difference, it doesn't mean that karma and incarnation are going away. They're just going to work differently. And my whole book that I'm writing right now on karma and reincarnation is it explains the new Earth reincarnation system, and it's freaking next level, guys. It's next level. Anyway. Okay. So the short version of it is, yes, it's going to look different. And the biggest change is we will no longer be trapped into a prison system of planet Earth and the karma that is trapping us into the reincarnation cycle of being forced to come back here time and time again. The prison system is not the fact that we lose our memories. It's not the fact that we are reincarnated. It's not the fact that we have karma. The prison system is that we are forced to come back here based on the karmic energy that we created, because that karmic energy overrides our conscious free will. And I was the big download that I had last night also has a lot to do with the children, and we're going to talk about that and where they're at tomorrow. It's as I'm talking to you guys today, all the downloads of last night are coming back around. Thank you, Sherry, for that beautiful super chat. Okay. All right, just a couple more questions and then we're going to wrap up. Okay, great. Talon Marderosian, hopefully I'm saying that right. The other day you went live and spoke about the realization you had about church rituals, and in turn made me question the symbol of the cross. Does this symbol give you power or take it away? I have a feeling it takes your power away. So before the cross was ever a thing associated with Christianity and Catholicism, It was originally the Ankh. Hopefully that makes sense. I hope you guys know what the Ankh looks like. It's kind of like a cross, but it's got the loop at the top. And so the Ankh is a very ancient symbol used for a very long time, and it reverberates our energy. If we do not have the semicircle at the top of the cross, there is no reverberation of energy. So anytime, whether it be through prayer or meditation or gratitude or even sex, anytime we connect with pure source frequency and we think about the symbol of a cross, we are instantly dispelling that pure source frequency. And guess who feeds off of the frequency? Right? I'm trying to be more careful about the words that I say because censorship is pretty real right now. But yeah, and so that symbol is a mixed up symbol from something that's very sacred. I believe, I haven't channeled this. I think that this is just something that I believe, but I have one more thing that I have channeled. I do believe that it went from the Ankh and they took away the power of the Ankh and reverberating the energy, which makes us live longer. It's reversing aging, right? Reverberating our energy. When we bring in pure source and then we hold that frequency, it gives us psychic abilities. We can astral travel. We can download information. We can reverse our aging. We can live longer. We can fast for longer. I mean, it's endless what that can do for us. You take away the reverberation of the symbol of the cross, and the energy just comes right into us and right out of us. And then it's being feeded. It's being fed upon. Feeded. The other thing that I've channeled with the symbol of the cross, and I don't know if this is common knowledge, like I haven't really looked this information up, but I have channeled about 2 or 3 past lifetimes of clients where they were very, very high up within Catholicism. Maybe they were in the Vatican or what have you. And they were branded. I don't know how long the church did this for or who specifically they did this for. But they used to, back in the day, this is what I've channeled through these past lifetimes, they used to have an iron cross, okay? And they would literally stick it in the fire till it's red hot, and they would stick the iron cross on the forehead. So it was, I forget now if it was like if it was a form of punishment because they were psychic. Yeah, one of the cases that was the case. The other case was this is a form of your devotion. You're so devoted. Now, if you think about Ash Wednesday, putting the cross on the forehead with the ashes, I always felt icky about that when it was Ash Wednesday, and I got that every single time. I didn't want that to happen. And I strongly feel that them putting the sign of the cross on your forehead is actually suppressing your third eye abilities. Of course, they don't want you to channel for yourself. They don't want you to talk to God yourself because they have a control system. They have a hierarchy system, right, to do that for you. So they actually used to fully brand you. I don't know, once again, how long this happened in history or if it was even documented, but it was literally like freaking iron branding on the forehead, and that creates major amount of psychic trauma moving into lifetimes coming from that, right? And that's what I had to purge out and help my clients with, is purging out the trauma of, I opened up my third eye and I got branded, you know, and it was closed for life because there's trauma there, right? It's just very interesting stuff. All right, guys, so once again, I am having a very special Galactic Federation agenda meeting for 2021 on Friday. It's going to be this Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Zoom. If you can't make it, there will be recordings as well, and tickets are just $11. What else did I want to mention? Oh yeah, tomorrow's video is going to be intense. 2021 predictions. There's two agendas at play. There's 2 timelines at play, and we need to know all of it in order to know how to navigate it. And with that being said, Thank you all so much. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up, of course, only if it resonates with you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification buttons to make sure that you get notified, and share this video. It will only be up for 24 hours and then it's going over to my membership program on YouTube. So if you want to watch this or share this or watch it with family, sign up and be a member, and that supports me and allows me to give free content every single month and every single week. Bye for now. Have a great rest of your Sunday.